My name is Damon Hershey. I'm with CycleWorks. I'm here to talk about some tips and tools to make winter riding a little easier. There's kind of three things you could break it down to. Yourself, as far as like clothing, your bike, the bike itself, and gear and tools that you can add to your bike, and then of course the mindset and skill level for riding in winter. When it comes to yourself and gear or clothing, first thing to remember is the layer. You don't want to have just like a single t-shirt and then a big heavy parka on over that. What you'll do is you want to be able to control your own body temperature. Remember, when you're cycling, you're moving, so you're creating a core heat, body heat. So we want to start with a base layer. So the very first thing you're going to have on is a base layer that's going to wick or pull moisture away from your body. You want to be able to get that moisture away from your body, get it into the other layer so it can start to ventilate away from you. After the base layer, you're going to have your mid layer, and then of course your outer layer. Your outer layer is preferably something that's going to be wind and water resistant, if not waterproof, but you also want to make sure it's still breathable. It helps to even have ventilation points with the bike, the jacket. Your mid layers is something that, depending on your activity, if you're warm-blooded, hot-blooded, the actual temp outside is what you could build up and have multiple layers on underneath. The biggest thing with cycling is overdressing. You don't want to be comfortable warm in the first few minutes of your ride. You actually want to be a little on the cold side because you're going to be moving. You're going to be building up that heat. If you're overdressed, you're going to sweat more. You sweat more, you're going to get damp, and that's when you can get chilled. And also drink. Remember, you are sweating, you are active, the air is very dry outside. You're going to get thirsty, and your body has a hard time telling you that you are thirsty in cold weather. So make sure to drink before you're thirsty and eat before you're hungry. Moving on to your bike. Now, if you have a bike and you've been riding it in the warm months, you could ride it in the winter. There are certain things you want to check for though. You want to make sure that your bike is in good operational shape. Winter is hard on bikes. You're riding through sloppy, freezing, wet, cold conditions. There's solvents and salt that's put on the road that's hard on your bike. And the last thing you want to do on a cold commute is to have your bike break down. Things to look out for is your drivetrain. Make sure your chain is properly lubed and cleaned. Make sure it's not worn out. You want to make sure your shifting and brakes are in good operating order. That's something you could take to any bike shop during the winter time. They have plenty of time in most bike shops to focus on your bike. A few tools that you can add to your bike to make it a little easier. Just like cars, there's good winter tires that you can do, just from a knobbier, softer rubber compound to full-on studded tires. You want to have fenders, one to keep all that slush and gray snow from splattering up on you, but also keeps your bike cleaner so it's easier to maintain the drivetrain. Other things like having a rack and waterproof panniers are going to make it easier for transporting yourself and what you need. Lights, you want to make sure you have front and rear lights on your bike. Lights are that much more important in the winter months because it is darker longer, it gets darker sooner. High-vis clothing, outer jackets, gloves, high-vis helmets and helmet covers are also a good idea. Anything that can help you being seen and make sure that people are aware of you being out on the road. There's other things like pogies. They're almost like a big mitten that goes over your handlebar. Nice thing about that is, just like with your cord, you could layer underneath them. Mild day, you could just get away with a liner on most pogies, all the way to big, thick wool mittens underneath them. Winter riding is a little bit different than riding most of the year. A lot of it is this mindset. Do what's comfortable for you. Maybe just make Monday and Friday your bike to work day. If it gets too cold or icy out, that's okay. Ride another day. Start out slowly, get comfortable, build your confidence. Take your time. Realize it might take, especially if the roads conditions are icy or snowy, it's going to take you a little bit longer. Give yourself that extra time by leaving a little earlier maybe. Be aware that your riding style might change a little bit. It's okay to take over a lane. If the conditions are bad, you might have less road to share with, so go ahead and take that lane. You're only going to hold up traffic or be part of traffic for a little bit longer. Riding in winter is really not that big of a deal. If you have the right mindset and you're properly prepared, you're safe, aware of your surroundings, anyone can ride all year round. Remember, it's riding a bike. It's fun.
Check out this and other 10 Health TV programs on YouTube. Follow programs and local events on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to check out our community calendar at lincoln.ne.gov, keyword 10 Health.